Some Marvel heroes were not bad ideas. They had great designs, strange powers, tragic stories, and even links to Thor, Captain America, the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four. But somehow, Marvel pushed them aside, renamed them, or left them waiting for a comeback that never really came. If you're into comics and nerd content like this, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Darkhawk had everything a 90s Marvel hero needed to stand out. Christopher Powell was just a teenager when he found a strange amulet in an abandoned amusement park and suddenly became connected to a powerful armored body. The look was already cool by itself. Dark armor, red visor, claws, wings, and that glowing chest amulet. It felt like Marvel had a new street hero with a real mystery behind him. And the weirdest part is that his story only got bigger from there. Darkhawk went from fighting crime to dealing with New Warriors, Avengers, Null Space, Razor, and the Fraternity of Raptors. That should have made him feel more important, not less. But after his first big push, Marvel never really kept him in the spotlight. He still has fans, but for a character with that design and mythology, he deserved way more. Sleepwalker is one of those Marvel ideas that feels too weird to be forgotten. He was a guardian from the mindscape, a place connected to dreams and the minds of living beings, but he ended up trapped inside college student Rick Sheridan. The catch made the whole concept even better. He could only come out when Rick fell asleep, so every night felt like a strange superhero nightmare waiting to happen again. What made him work was how different he felt from the usual Marvel hero. He was not trying to be cool or famous. He was this confused, alien-looking protector fighting monsters that came from the mind itself. His warped gaze, his dream world origin, and Rick's fear of what he might do gave him real personality. But after his original push, Marvel mostly left him as a cult character that fans still remember today. Quasar should have been one of Marvel's main cosmic heroes. Wendell Vaughn started as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who was not seen as aggressive enough for field work, but that ended up being exactly why the quantum bands worked for him. Instead of forcing the power, he learned to go with the flow, becoming a hero who could create solid energy, fly, teleport, and defend Earth as the protector of the universe. And that is why his place in Marvel feels so strange. Quasar had his own long-running series, fought in huge cosmic stories, joined the Avengers, and stood beside names like Silver Surfer, Nova, and Beta Ray Bill. He was not some random space hero. He had the power, the title, and the history to matter. But Marvel kept moving on without making him a true pillar of its cosmic universe. Genis-Vell should have been one of Marvel's biggest cosmic heroes. He was the son of Mar-Vell, the original Captain Marvel, and his mother Elysius gave him the Negabands that carried that legacy forward. He used names like Legacy, Captain Marvel, and Photon, but what made him stand out was how messy he was, going from reckless space drifter to a hero crushed by cosmic awareness and a fate he never asked for. His stories had the kind of scale Marvel usually saves for its biggest names. Genis dealt with Silver Surfer, Rick Jones, universal threats, insanity, and the pressure of a name that already meant something. For a while, it felt like Marvel had found a new face for its cosmic side. Instead, he kept getting renamed, rewritten, and pushed away, which is wild for the son of the first Captain Marvel himself later. Justice had one of those Marvel paths that should have led to something much bigger. Vance Astrovic started as a normal teenager, until meeting Vance Astro from an alternate future shook his mind and awakened his mutant telekinesis. He went from Marvel Boy to Justice, joined the New Warriors, and slowly became one of the team's most serious voices, instead of just another young hero trying hard to prove himself. And that is what makes his place in Marvel feel so frustrating. Vance had the perfect growth story. Future connections, mutant powers, New Warriors history, and even a spot with the Avengers. He could fly, move objects with his mind, and carry real emotional baggage. But even after reaching the big leagues, Marvel never treated him like a major name, leaving him stuck as the hero who almost broke out for real. Demolition Man looked strange at first, but Dennis Dunphy had more heart than most people remember. He began around the wrestling world, got enhanced strength through Power Broker, and later became one of Captain America's allies. His costume clearly borrowed pieces from Daredevil and Wolverine, which sounds ridiculous, but somehow made him instantly recognizable in a very Marvel way on the page every single time. What made D-Man work was that he was not some polished super soldier. He was a damaged, loyal guy trying to do the right thing, even with health problems, self-doubt, and moments where his life completely fell apart. Marvel gave him strength, tragedy, and a real bond with Captain America, but rarely gave him true respect. Over time, he became more of a punchline than the underdog hero he truly could have been. Sharon Ventura had a Marvel story that should have stayed important for years. Before most fans even think of her, she carried the Ms. Marvel name, gained powers through Power Broker, and entered the orbit of the Thing and the Fantastic Four. She was not just strong either. Sharon had a rough past, combat skills, stunt experience, and the kind of personal pain that could make a hero feel painfully real too. Then Marvel pushed her into an even heavier direction. After cosmic radiation transformed her into a rocky form like the Thing, Sharon became She-Thing, a change that brought shame, anger, and a lot of tragedy to her story. That should have made her unforgettable in Fantastic Four history. Instead, she was buried behind bigger names, other Ms. Marvels, and a legacy Marvel never really protected enough at all. Jack of Hearts had one of the coolest problems a Marvel hero could have. Jack Hart was the son of a human scientist and an alien mother, and after being exposed to zero fluid, his own body turned into a dangerous energy source. He needed special armor just to keep himself from burning out, which made him look strange, powerful, and tragic before he even joined the Avengers or flew into bigger cosmic stories. The crazy thing is that Jack was never just a random space hero. He worked with Iron Man, crossed paths with Silver Surfer, helped re-energize Contraxia's dying son, and later became an Avenger, even though being on Earth forced him into isolation for hours every day. That kind of pain could have made him unforgettable, but Marvel kept using him in bursts instead of giving him a steady place in the universe. Gravity felt like Marvel had a modern young hero ready to grow in front of readers. Greg Willis was a normal kid from Wisconsin until a strange black hole accident gave him control over gravity. He could fly, make himself lighter or heavier, pull enemies in, push objects away, and turn one of the most basic forces in the universe into a clean, easy-to-understand superhero power with real visual appeal on every page. What makes him frustrating is that Marvel gave him moments that should have changed everything. He moved to New York, tried to build a real superhero life, earned Spider-Man's respect, and later sacrificed himself to hold Battleworld together long enough for others to escape. Even after that huge moment, he never became a major Marvel name. He stayed like a great idea waiting for another real push from the company. Slapstick is exactly the kind of ridiculous idea only comics can make work. Stephen Harmon was a prank-loving kid who followed enemies through a strange funhouse mirror and came back transformed into a living cartoon. His body was made for cartoon physics, so he could stretch, flatten, survive impossible damage, pull off absurd tricks, and still walk away like nothing happened, smiling through total chaos again. That should have made him one of Marvel's most unique comedy heroes, because he was not just another guy with strength or energy blasts. He was basically a Looney Tunes character dropped into the Marvel universe, crossing paths with New Warriors, Avengers, The Initiative, and even Mercs for money. But Marvel rarely treated that weirdness like a strength, so he became more of a cult joke than a real breakout star. In the end, these forgotten Marvel heroes show that great ideas can disappear even in the biggest universe in comics. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment which Marvel character deserved better, and subscribe for more comic book history and lost heroes.